Thank you very much, guys. Yes, we are here for this final round of these World Point qualifiers right here. In front of me, I have Guillaume, Maron and Anthony Lopes. You've seen them both in our last two semi-finals. And without wishing to put too much pressure on it, this is the last chance. Only one of these two amazing duelists will be making their way to Seattle for the World Championships in September. It's very exciting, but obviously also quite nerve-wracking. We are in for a very exciting duel. Gentlemen, we're going to do a high roll to see which one of you is going to go first. Okay, Anthony has rolled a 8 and Guillaume has rolled a 2. Snake Eyes, are you going to go first? Okay, Anthony is going to go first after that Snake Eyes roll with the Snake Eyes decks. So I'm going to hand you guys straight over to your amazing commentary trio who are going to take you through the last of these matches to secure their place at the World Championships.
Anthony taking a deep breath after winning that dice roll, saying, I'm going to go first. This is what we're going to see in game number 1 of this deciding match of who goes to the World Championships. Let's go right to the table.
All right, it's the last final opportunity to earn that coveted spot in September in Seattle in the United States for the World Championship as our players are ready to begin this game. Anthony, very fortunate to win that dice roll, and will it spell a omen of doom here as Guillaume did get that awful, awful snake eye roll there. That is, that's not what you want to see. Yeah, we're just waiting for our players to begin here. I think as our judges are loading in the cards and life points into the devices. Yep, there it is. Here's the handshake.
Oh, the quadra handshake. Definitely a new technology.
And new technology it is as we begin the first European event of Infinite Forbidden, as Anthony has led with a Diabell Star. No response from Guillaume as we discard Effect Veiler, which means the rest of the hand here might be very, very nice actually for Anthony as we sequence forward with our Sinful Spoils, summoning the Snake Eye Ash from the deck.
This is a point where you could actually hand trap the Snake Eye Ash.
I think so, right?
I think what I'm worried about is a normal summon, right?
That is a good point. However, I think that usually if you have another normal summon, you would want to keep the Sinful Spoils, right? So you can extend through an Nibiru or something.
All right, well, establishing the Divine Temple to get Snake Eye Diabell Star out of the deck here. Scaling it up, and this should be the full combo here, provided that Guillaume does not interrupt, which would be very surprising. As we have seen, I don't think really the full establishment of a Snake Eye field here. There's the Ash Blossom coming down on Snake Eye's Ash effect to send.
That is, of course, already a big interruption. How is Anthony going to play with this? Maybe he has a crossout in the main deck or a Called by the Grave, contemplating whether it is worth to activate it now or if you're fine playing against it. Anima is going to be summoned. Now we're putting the Diabell Star into the Spell and Trap Zone. Now, of course, you can summon it out and go into the next kind or part of the engine to summon the moon.
Yeah, this is like the really cool part with the Snake Eye Diabell Star, is establishing itself onto the field almost for free because of the Poplar scaling, which means you do get to establish 2 monsters on the field without still committing your normal summon. So we are very likely going to see the next step be that Closed Heaven, the generic Light Fiend Link 2 that allows you to then have the material for the Link 1 of... Ooh, that's actually pretty cool. All right, links away with the opponent's Ash Blossom spellcaster requirement for the Selene, and it means now we can actually go into Apollousa before we... Whoa, Nibiru as well. All right, the Primal Being comes down here. Absolutely has to be used now, unless we had another hand trap to pair that with. So I'm going to assume Guillaume does not have any other more effect negation from the hand.
And I think that Anthony is just going to be incredibly fine with this, to be honest, because now he still has the Apollousa in the extra deck to maybe still end on it, could use the Temple, and from the looks of it, going for the Selene line, it just seemed like he also had another extender in hand.
Yeah, it might be not the end of the world, to be honest. It really depends on the last 2 remaining cards, but sets 1 and pass.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
See, I thought it was interesting that the Temple didn't summon out the Ash to then be able to use it as fodder for Close Heaven, but it does require effect monsters specifically, so you can make it with the Nibiru token, but no normal summon to be able to push through here, as Guillaume responds with a Diabell Star into Infinite Impermanence, into Tract.
Oh, and this is all of a sudden looking really good for Guillaume. What a strong Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring combined with Nibiru, the Primal Being, actually ending the turn from Anthony preemptively, and now Tract resolves. There's already 3 monsters on the field. What more do you want?
Yeah, no, lots of options available here for Guillaume. Most important of all, as well as the Spellcaster has been established, so preempting some more disruptions could be quite nice with Apollousa. But of course, it's turn 2. We've got our battle phase, and that's absolutely what we're trying to establish, is going for that big game shot here as we bring out Engraver from the deck with our Requiem.
There's another set card of Anthony. Have we seen it before?
I think it's the Wanted.
Yeah, that was set from Diabell Star.
Yeah.
All right, checking the grave here to see if there's anything we can potentially bring out, but Hita unfortunately not available for us as we do not have a fire monster. Get to equip here, and yeah, using the effect to send the Primal Being token. Just clearing the way here. We don't really need too much left, actually, to attack for game. Under 5 summons, by the way. Although we have not popped out from the Divine Temple just yet, it looks like. Ooh,
Actually,
right,
I think
it
you
goes to the battle phase.
You can deal enough damage so that the Lacrima burn might end the game.
That's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Is there any reason we didn't use the temple to bring out the Ash, you think?
Yeah, trying to not play into triple tactic talents now.
Okay.
I think you can try to do that later on. There's the Effect Veiler. And I think that now is the time where another monster is summoned, you bring out the Snake Eye Ash.
Yeah, okay. Engraver recycling the Lurry back into the deck here to summon itself. And we have the Fusion play from Tract being used. Yeah, all right. There's the Lacrima. 700 damage is all we need. Links it away. Do we have anything to stop this? Masquerena summon, Lacrima effect. Any response?
Does not look like it.
There
We're
it
packing
is.
up. Game
All
1
right.
goes to Guillaume immediately. Just 2 hand traps were enough. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring together with Nibiru, the Primal Being, shutting down the turn completely. First off, negated the access to the Flamberge Dragon, and then Nibiru just had a field day.
What a
How do
hand
you
from
feel about
Guillaume.
the holding of the Snake Eye Ash from the Divine Temple? Because if you summon that, you know, you're going to have some bodies to be able to protect your life points, not bringing you under that 1200 threshold.
No, exactly. Maybe Anthony didn't want to push and maybe hope to survive the next turn, so that maybe he could have had something going on if he really there's a scenario in which he survives. But you know, I think that was very unlikely. But we have to say that Guillaume's hand was, I think, perfectly built. Honestly, it's like he had all the answers. So it's, I mean, at the end of the day, I think maybe you can pray that your opponent doesn't seal the game in the very first turn, and then hopefully you can come back into it. But you know, I guess that's what it is. I mean, you can just try and, I mean, Guillaume, I think, seized the occasion, and yeah, game 1, only 1 game away to earn his spot to the World Championships. So honestly, here the pressure's on Anthony.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think what's impressive as well is the fact that Anthony actually won the dice roll. Guillaume's still managing to win. So despite, you know, the Snake Eye roll, it's actually not too bad of a situation. I mean, you got to say the confidence boost from that is definitely going to be in Guillaume's favor.
It was a really interesting start to the turn from Anthony. So let's rethink that through. Okay, so he started with Diabell Star, discarding an Effect Veiler, and then just activated from hand the original Sinful Spoils. And was there any other follow-up?
Well, I think like if you hold the Veiler instead, you could have normal summoned it eventually to go for the Closed Heaven. But obviously, I think the idea was that you keep the Imperm over the Veiler because Imperm is just better than Veiler. But I guess it didn't really work out in the end because, you know, I think that extra body would have really helped to be able to go into the Fiendsmith engine.
That's true. Did he at all normal summon in the end? Because he also...
No, that's the thing. He could have normal summoned the Veiler potentially for that. Primal Being token obviously not being an effect monster means that we didn't have a way to keep extending there. So, yeah, lots of hand traps from Guillaume's play, and it proves to be just enough, actually, to survive this one. Winning that... I mean, I can't emphasize just how good it is to win game 1 after losing the dice roll.
Especially with some burn damage in the end after almost OTKing, going for that damage. while not being... I mean, this is a very, very smart play by him to go for the damage while not being on the 5th summon.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then your opponent is forced to throw something on sequence, and there is still the track in the graveyard. So that was, I want to say, almost genius. Very well deserved win by Guillaume. And now you have seen the handshake there. I think it's time to go over to start game 2, go over to the table.
All right, Anthony going to give it another shot here to go first as we start off this game number 2. A all-important battle between two friends here, well established in the French community as Mulch Army immediately. There's a normal summon, draw 1 card, and this is kind of awkward because sometimes the Mulch Army forces you to play differently if you have something like a Bonfire.
Yeah.
Bonfire for Ash is obviously like your best play, but you know, Mulch Army does also have the ability to kind of make your fields a little bit weaker. In this case, Anthony not really having an option, has to commit to the normal summon and then has to commit to the Poplar, and that's just a +1 and a free draw.
Yep, that is already 6 cards in hand for Guillaume, so very likely to have more
Ash
hand
Blossom.
traps. Ash Blossom is really strong, and now an extender like a Black Witch would be really, really bad because it gives an additional draw. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Purulia, I think, is something that players have all been opting to side in their side deck here, because in an absolute worst-case scenario, there's very few decks that actually don't need a normal summon, and usually if they don't need the normal summon, they still have to special summon from the hand to actually get their plays going, so you're almost always breaking even with Purulia in a worst-case scenario.
Or you're stopping the entire turn, which I think you're fine with that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's very hard to find any downsides there. That's an Ash Blossom. Sorry, a Ghost Ogre on the Diabellstar.
Oh, and this is a shuffle of the deck of Anthony. This might indicate that he's going to pass the turn over. I'm not going to reach to my deck anymore. Just passes with no set cards. He has a few cards in hand. This is Guillaume's turn now. He might be able to close this out here. There's 4 more cards in hand of Anthony, so nothing's won yet. The Snake Eyes Diabellstar is being discarded for the Diabellstar Black Witch.
Also a good one to discard, honestly, with the Black Witch.
Yeah, decent discard. Not too many good discards typically in this deck, but getting the Diabellstar in the grave is very important, especially as a spellcaster potentially for the Celine plays as well. We got the field spell up here. That's going to establish our Poplar directly from the deck. We can send that for the original Sin, and then the Poplar can then scale the Diabellstar. So again, just so much good synergy between these cards that just work out in such amazing ways that allow you to generate more and more and more advantage seemingly for free.
Just seems like every single card covers every other card in this deck. We're going to special summon out a Snake Eye Oak now, so we're not even going over the Ash, even though we haven't used the special summoning effect from hand from Poplar yet. So we're going to see the Poplar being summoned here, and we're completely avoiding the Ash so far.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to establish as many bodies as possible first and foremost to maybe set up Apollousa. There is 4 in hand from Anthony, so I mean it's not anything to sniff at. That is still a lot of potential disruption to come out here.
Yep, and now if there is another strong extender, you could just go for a 4 Apollousa here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You can maybe keep the Oak on the field to actually use it as a
end of main phase threatened, because this looks like game actually with the Temple, to be honest. So I'm quite curious to see this here. Also, I would like, instead of going for a 4 Apollousa, you could go into IP first and then make Apollousa to play around Ghost Ogre.
Which I think is even better, yeah. I mean, you can tell that Guillaume is thinking about it, right? Because there may be a chance in which he closes this out. Maybe you really don't want to risk getting Nibiru'd.
Yeah, I mean, I think like Nibiru is probably the scariest thing in this situation. You do lose so much advantage here. We haven't got Flamberge on the field yet, which is the most important part. So maybe trying to prioritize that right now from Guillaume might be a priority. Yep, and that is what he's... Oh, we're actually going to go for a Link Summon first and foremost.
What are we going to summon? The Heater.
Heater for Ash. That works quite nicely as well.
Fire Charmer Ablaze, and we haven't accessed the Ash before, so we actually get to go for a search after this one as well. I can't remember, was there a normal summon? Because I don't really think so.
I don't think it did normal summon, right? Because it was just starting from the
Diabellstar.
Yeah. And I think Anthony might be holding a Veiler here, which will make a lot of sense to me. And is thinking of, oh, there's an Nibiru, indeed, yeah.
Activation of Hita, chain the Nibiru, no zone
Very
there.
strong. Very strong, cutting off the Ash axis.
Yeah, for sure. Still a normal summon potentially from Guillaume to try and beat this Nibiru here. Oh, we're just gonna activate Engraver. All right, that's pretty good.
I also like the situation in which Anthony did it, and he special summoned out the Ash from the spell and trap zone to then afterwards Nibiru, so that there is no card the Temple could summon out.
Yeah, that was really important as well. Using as Chainlink as the turn player, Guillaume would be able to activate the Divine Temple to then bring up, but using our own on Anthony's side here to deny the Ash Blossom, giving the material for himself. Really cool play as we do get to still keep going, however, with this Requiem. To another Engraver, and that's going to be another body from the graveyard as well, potentially. Do we have a Bestial, maybe?
After getting Super Nibiru'd, it must feel really, really nice to just discard an Engraver.
Yeah, absolutely. Still 3 cards on the hand from Anthony's side here. And Guillaume is just, I suppose, I mean, you're definitely going to use the Engraver in the grave at this point. Question is, where do we go from here? First of all, establishing the Requiem to deny the Nibiru body.
Now we're gonna see. Guillaume is very close to winning this game. He just needs to solve the puzzle here. Goes into the sequence. A sequence going to be able to resolve, because this game, if he wins this, he's going to Worlds. He's going to be a participant at the World Championships in Seattle. But now Anthony Lopes picks up the cards in his hand again, throws the Effect Veiler. Is there anything more that Guillaume can do, or is this going to be a pass back?
Yeah, no, we've got the Fiendsmith Engraver still, bringing that back. We've got Princess access as well. Was that a handshake or a grab of the deck there?
Oh, Guillaume almost gave him the handshake. Baited there. But the Engraver is going to summon itself back out, and then we're going to be able to access the Promethean Princess, which is again so huge.
Yeah, the Princess is going to be absolutely massive, especially since we can bring back Oak. We haven't used the secondary effect of Oak, I believe. Oh, but we do have a Bestial that is so huge. Yeah, I mean, from here...
this is a pass.
Wow.
Anthony is back in this game. Anthony just now needs another normal summon. Has he gone through the moon? No, there's nothing in his graveyard. All of the resources are still in the extra deck. This is now all of a sudden looking phenomenal for Anthony. If he can find a monster to normal summon in his hand, he has still plenty of cards. I think even 3 or 2 it could be. Looks like 2 right now.
Yeah, no, there's still so much gas here potentially, just even with a normal summon. Second Bestial coming down here, double Druid's Worm. All right, well, that's 2 bodies, and that's one way to force it through here. Anthony does have the ability to also, I mean, you could overlay them as well if you really want to. Probably not that great of a situation for that, however, as we don't have the bodies required to revive with the Princess. As we've seen, the inclusion of the Fiendsmith engine, utilizing rank 6 plays has been so powerful over this playoff so far. Okay, does actually go for the Beatrice indeed.
Oh, I think I know what's coming. Is he going to mill the Sinful Spoils card to add Snake Eye Ash from the deck to the hand?
Yeah, no, you get to get the all-important recycle off of this, just from this Beatrice.
That is so good.
Yeah, for sure. That's absolutely massive. Normal summons out the Oak after shuffling back.
Searches for the Ash, and the bottom of the deck is being accessed because it is the good old Poplar. Poplar special summons itself out. Searches nothing, of course. The Temple is on the field, and the original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye is banished. But it is still a body. And you also have the Snake Eyes Diabellstar in the graveyard. So even if the last card in hand of Guillaume is Nibiru, you're going to be able to summon out another monster.
In a prime position here, actually. So must be pretty confident, but still has to be careful in sequencing these plays just to make sure that we can actually insulate ourselves from any disruption from the hand. The last important card could be a Primal Being, and I think that's what we need to pay attention the most to.
I think what you want to do is activate Ash or Oak to summon out a Flamberge from deck.
Yeah, keeping the Flamberge on the field is really important. It's the best way to keep yourself protected from something like Nibiru, making sure that when it is sent to the graveyard, it can actually float itself into some more bodies and keep going from there. You can also scale with the Flamberge here too to go for that Diabellstar, giving you even more bodies. And yeah, you can pop out the monster from the Spell and Trap Zone and use the Flamberge float if you do get hit by Primal Being. So many different cool sequencing ways that Snake Eye has to be able to play through Disruption, and masterfully displayed and showcased here by Anthony.
You have to pay a little bit of attention though if you activate the Snake Eyes Diabell Star. Ah, no, you're turn player. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. So you have to be very careful which card you put into your spell and trap zone, because if you summon out the Snake Eyes Diabell Star, your opponent is going to be able to summon it out. And if you don't end the game on that turn, you might have given your opponent an important resource. We're going to actually just put the sequence into the spell trap zone. Now the Poplar is being put into the spell trap zone, and now the Snake Eyes Temple is special summoning out the Poplar. Is there even a target for it? Oh, and now the Temple is summoning out the sequence.
That is so cool, actually. We can actually use the opponent's sequence that we gave them, where they trigger. Oh,
there's
this is insane! Wow, what a array of plays. Okay, just to slow that down so you guys understand at home what exactly just happened here. Both temples are up on the field. Turn player priority means that the turn player, in this case Anthony, wouldn't be able to actually get the summon out first and foremost. So it means that by scaling the Diabell Star, Guillaume was able to summon a monster, but because we scaled Guillaume's sequence on Anthony's side, it meant that when Guillaume resolved the Divine Temple, we pop out the sequence that Guillaume has on Anthony's side to then bring out sequence. And then from there, you can't allow Apollousa, you have the two link materials, you have to immediately Nibiru. Forces that out. Now we're here where we're at, which is to summon out the Fiendsmith Engraver, send away the Nibiru, and then keep playing forward from here as we go into a sequence, and then we can fusion summon and try and establish a full 8,000 swing through no more cards and no more disruption.
Imagine after all that you Nibiru your opponent and they're going like, yeah, okay, I have full combo now.
Yeah, absolutely well read by Anthony there to recognize the danger of that last card as we get the track for Luri, summoning out more bodies here. And we also have the ability to fuse. Likewise. No, that was just sequenced so perfectly well by Anthony. Really impressive.
I can't believe he's pulling this off.
Yeah, let's see if he can actually get the damage in, though.
Actually, let me check Temple. Is Temple boosting the attack of Luri? Ah, it's level 1 fire monsters. No, okay.
That would be a very different card.
Close
Doesn't work
enough.
that way. Close enough. Anthony does side access Code Talker as well, by the way, so going second, very likely that he brought that into this duel. So access does...
But he went first.
oh,
lost the first game.
yeah, of course. That's a good point.
This is a real tough duel for both duelists. Both of them able to showcase how good they are at this game. Promethean Prince is being summoned now. We're going to summon out the Flamberge. This
should just be
lot
game,
of damage,
right?
Yeah.
I think you can close this out, right?
Yeah, you just attack, and then link off and deal 12.
Yeah,
All
or
right.
not.
I mean, you can just keep going, I suppose.
Okay.
You know, you'll find game... There's many different ways to establish this here, so just do some flexing, I suppose. Why not? Use the Lacrima, get the 12 damage in, Hito can summon out, keep going from there.
There's
that
probably
should be
also
enough to
another Flamberge.
Yeah, exactly. 78.5 plus the burn brings you over 9,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're
scoops it
packing
up, yeah. All right, well, it really was just going through the motions there as Guillaume recognized that that was more than enough for a game. Wow, what an incredible display there. I thought it was really impressive the way that he circumvented the double temple on the field, right?
Yeah.
No, speechless, honestly, especially because, like, I think we all said, okay, it's over. It's like 2-0, right? I mean, that was that moment in which you said, okay, maybe it's it. You know?
But you're absolutely right about the sequencing there, because he just knew the Nibiru was going to come, basically, and said, hey, okay, I'm just going to bench your sequence for a second there, put it in the spell trap zone, and it's going to full combo
Bench,
from
is that
there.
what we're calling it? I hear a new term every time.
So we're going to go shuffle up now as well for the game number 3, the most important game there is basically.
This is the last one.
Now.
One final duel to send you to the World Championship. It doesn't get bigger than this. It doesn't get crazier than this, and it most assuredly is not more nerve-wracking than this for the players. I mean, one final duel. This is really the highlight of their weekend. this is the main event for these players here, as they have established a huge amount of points throughout the entire year to get to this spot, to get to this stage by attending multiple regional circuits, opens, and of course some YCS finishes as well, kindly helping Anthony with his second places and championship victory to get first place in Swiss, I think he was, right, in the leaderboards.
Yeah.
So
To be honest, Anthony is always so close to glory. He was in 2 YCS finals and then he managed to win the French national championship. So is this his revenge arc? Is he also going to go for glory here to qualify for the World Championships? There's very few players who deserve it as much as he does. Guillaume is one of them.
yeah, no, absolutely. These players have both earned their right to be in this tournament and to have a chance to fight for that coveted spot. And as mentioned, going into this final game here, I do really like Anthony's build with the mind controls and the thrusts, change of heart. You know, these are the type of cards that we might bring in. Some people do opt to go for lots of heavy hand trust, but we've seen just how powerful a change of heart and Appaloosa can be.
Yeah, that is true.
11 years on the Forbidden Limit list to see it in the side deck in the final of a World Championship playoff. I mean, that is a story, huh?
That could also be a Snatch Steal as well, which was a card that has been very, I don't want to say problematic, but it has been controversial. It once or twice was brought back, even in the Shadow form at times, and even then it caused quite the kerfuffle. So
Snatch Steal for game.
these cards are absolutely incredible. Stealing a BLS is also something else, but I think that arguably, if you compare the power level of a Blackluster Soldier, I think an Appaloosa combined with the cards that you can play with it might be a little bit stronger as
You're
well.
reopening old wounds here, honestly. That's all I can say. Really cool as well, I noticed that Guillaume's also citing Ptolemy M7. It's a little bit of an interesting side deck choice that people have been running. Essentially what M7 does is that it gives you the extra light material, because you can then add back the engraver, activate the effect to discard, get the track, then get the Lurie in rotation, but that gives you 3 light fiends. So in situations where you go for time, you have enough to play through Bestials to get the established burn off, like we saw in the last playoff match in Gabriel Netz's case. And of course, it gives you enough fodder to go for Desiree. So it's an interesting tech that people have been side decking for situations like that. Probably not maybe going to be coming up going second, which is why the access code talker is in there.
I mean, Constellar Ptolemy M7 still bounces a monster from your opponent's side of the field, so actually it has applications going second. I don't know if it's worth to be sided in. You're very right about that. I think access code is something you want to prioritize. However, our duelists are ready for game number 3. Let's go to the table.
This is what it's all about. The peak of competition has reached its culmination in this last and final game. I think these players have given the handshake about 9 different times throughout this whole match.
It is with 18 hands.
All right, well, Guillaume's going first here with the normal summon. No Mulch Army drawn on the side of Anthony here, so we're just going to lead with Poplar for the Sinful Spoils here. All right, and Anthony is the master of the hand trap wars, as we've seen some of his features in pre-recorded Swiss duels, which you guys might be able to check out on the YouTube channel from the various socials are.
Oh, what? Is this a pass
That's a
immediately?
set?
Is that it? Wow.
Look at the expression on Guillaume's face as he leans back in size there. A single Ash Blossom preventing the rest of his turn there. 3 cards left in hand, though, however, there's still the opportunity for some more disruption to come down on Anthony's side here. He's not quite out in the clear just yet.
Oh, this
But
is
that's a
very
big
good
card.
start, yeah.
And that's a very good counter to that. Infinite Impermanence, stopping both effects of Ash here as well, remember.
He really doesn't want to activate anything into that zone. Once it goes
which
through,
column was that?
this is also very huge. And what you can do now to get a free discard or a free send for the Diabellstar is go into your own anima, take the anima of your opponent, because they were looking at each other, basically.
They are looking at each other.
Take away the Spell Trap Zone anima of your opponent for your Diabellstar Black Witch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the great synergies with the deck that has a tendency to place a lot or bench a lot of cards.
We're looking
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
too
you
much
called
football.
it. How was your result recently, actually? That's a different conversation. Special summon out the Diabellstar by sending the Stolen Relinquished to then get our own Sinful Spoils onto the field here.
Very huge. And Anthony just now knows, hey, this bottom left spell and trap zone, there was no impermanence. I'm going to play everything in there.
Yeah.
It's just safer that way.
Stuck into the corner here, activates the Sinful Spalls. Anything coming up from
Goes
Guillaume? No, no.
This resolves. Are we going to see a Poplar or an Oak?
Yeah.
It is. Now we already have the extra draw, so yes, you said it, 3 cards in hand for Guillaume. However, Anthony just ended the turn. There is Nibiru already!
The Primal Being. Is that a little preemptive, do you feel?
I actually do like it. There is no temple yet on the field at all, so there is maybe not a lot of follow-up after this one. Oh, we're shuffling the deck. Is this a turn ender? No, we're absolutely not, because we can draw another card.
Yeah,
Engraver,
okay.
maybe?
Let's see if we can find something off the top. Your biggest draw of Anthony's life as we try and find something to try and push through this Nibiru.
Oh, we're checking all of the graveyards right now. Everything needs to be checked thrice before you either pass the turn or you continue playing. Is there a chance for Anthony to swing this turn back to his side? He activates Bestial Magnum.
This is also going to search in the end phase if we do get that far. Don't forget, searching any dragon. And yeah, that's a way to still keep playing. We need...
Has he activated it though?
I didn't see a point at it. Could have been verbally declared. No, okay. I think that... Yeah, that's an activation right there. All right. Well, we still need some extending to try and push through here.
Oh, it's an exchange of heart onto Nibiru. That is something
MVP of Anthony has been change of heart this playoff, honestly. We've seen him activated a few times, and it's been very good. So it looks like we're just going to go for some damage here. That is a decent amount, 55. It's not quite in Lacrima range just yet, but we can go through our Fiendsmith line now and try and see if this will accrue as any further Snake Eye connections.
What do you think was the reason for him to just attack preemptively there? Because it's not like another hand trap like Nibiru is going to come down.
I think maybe even he's holding two hand traps, so two interruptions, because otherwise I can't really see like another scenario, right? Where you will, you know.
I suppose if he goes into the sequence and then that gets disrupted, it's just significantly less damage.
Yeah.
So might as well get that in, because you're not establishing game here once that normal summon and the Diabell Star has been ran through. So you might as well maximize your damage and then see how far you get in main phase 2.
It's a fair enough point.
Shuffling back here, gonna go for Lacrima. No response there yet. All right, that resolves.
The question is how we are playing on after that, because we have used most of the Snake Eye effects so far. What you could do now, of course, is go Lacrima, summon Engraver, go Beatrice, and then send the Flamberge Dragon. There's multiple options here.
Have we used...
I don't think
we've used Oak's on field effect, but not Ash's second effect. So we can bring that out special Flamberge directly from the deck, but we're just missing a body to then further link away that Flamberge to float. We'll see though. Alright, there is the Lacrima. Engraver activates, gonna shuffle back.
I mean, you could just... Wait, let's think this through. If you go Beatrice and send the Flamberge Dragon?
What did we shuffle back for Engraver summon?
I didn't see.
I could also go Beatrice. It depends on what his side it in, honestly. If it's like, if it brought in the Angel of Blue Tears, I don't know. It really depends on how his side
I just activated Lacrima for Engraver summon.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah, you can just bring it back.
I did.
All right, so there's the Beatrice. What do we send now?
Is it a Bellstar if he really wants to, or a Poplar?
I mean, Poplar kind of gives access to Temple if you summon it out with the Promethean Princess. The other question is also, what does Guillaume have in the graveyard? Are there any fire monsters? Yep, this is the question that has to be answered by Anthony. And there is a Poplar, so you can get access to the Temple yourself by going through a heater.
Yeah, I quite like sending Flamberge and then bringing it back with Princess, going into the Hita afterwards. Or going to the Hita first before Princessing.
Very well, that's how it's supposed to be done.
Yep, does actually send Flamberge.
Summons it back out. Lacrima, of course, first activates.
1200 extra damage. getting dangerously low on the side of Guillaume here. 13 remaining. Okay. He was picking up his side deck there to make sure he didn't shuffle it into the wrong pile, I believe. That could have been a disaster.
That is very true. And now are we going to go into a Hita right here to get
I do really like that. So we are going to link summon into Hita, bring back 2 bodies, revive the Poplar, get the Temple, scale. And yeah, no, Anthony is in such a good position. Guillaume just has that 2 cards in hand. Nothing really in the grave to be able to pop out on the next turn. Battle phase has been used, remember, so that is not going to be the end of the game on this turn just yet. But yeah, we are pretty far ahead.
The only problem with Poplar is that you're giving your opponent a Poplar in the spell and trap zone by using it. But then, I mean, you can actually immediately negate it with Appaloosa if you want to. If you want to go over Hita, summon out the Poplar, and then go into Appaloosa.
By the way, I think Anthony has a Wanted in hand here, but we've already used that part of the engine already, haven't we?
Yeah, that might be the case. I mean, it's also banished, so I assume.
Yeah, there's the Hita being summoned here. Floating back the 2 bodies again can't be expressed enough just how strong the Flamberge is.
So you're not searching for Temple?
Summon the Poplar. I think he's just checking everything here. You should. There's no reason not to get Temple. Oh, wow. Okay.
Seems like...
that doesn't seem right.
He's summoning out his own Poplar because he wants to have access to the Temple and access to Poplar to put more monsters into the spell and trap zone.
All right, works out anyway. That's fair.
Now the thing is, how do you get access to the Flamberge again? If you, I mean, that's pretty easy. You just use Snake Eyes Diabellstar and then put it in the spell trap zone. Do you end on an IP? Can you end on Appaloosa plus
Appaloosa
IP
plus IP, I don't think it's going to be possible.
Yeah.
You can definitely get IP. Yeah, so it brings in the Flamberge here. Then links away the Hita and the Poplar now. What is this going to make? Celine, maybe? Yep, there it is. Oh, you actually can do IP and Masquereno. IP and Appaloosa, rather.
Yeah, absolutely works right here.
Oh, wow, that is really, really cool. Well played here by Anthony. Super, super good interactions with the Spellcaster. And Celine making a big play there as we actually set another card as well. So we have a lot established here. The field spell is going to be able to pop out the Flamberge at any time. You can link it away with the Masquerade into SP to then float 2 more bodies, banish a card, and Appaloosa has 2 negates. This is really bad. Yeah. Like, can I just say this is not a great situation? It's not looking ideal.
There is very few cards
that could
save Guillaume. For example, a Cosmic Cyclone in the process on the Flamberge could help him there. I think this is something you want to Appaloosa negate. However, the Poplar that you gave your opponent is a material that the Ash can use right there. I mean, there is 2 negates on that Appaloosa.
1 is used as we stop Ash.
There's 2 more cards in hand. There's plenty of options for Guillaume. Maybe, actually, he's going to activate a Wanted and this might change things.
That's absolutely insane. What a card. All right, that's not bad. Yeah, all right. That's going to search out Diabellstar. And yeah, I think we're going to have to pop out that Flamberge really soon here. I really do like hitting the Sinful Spoils with SP that we're going to set with this Diabell. You could just straight negate it, but I feel like I really want to use the negate on the send of the Ash. Oh, also, don't forget we get a draw here, so some options to be able to get off the top on Guillaume's side.
This is far from over. This is one of those games that we have all been waiting for, where everything is on the line and everything is being played out as well. This is basically the perfect endfield that this deck can do, minus a Desiree. But keep in mind, there were so many interruptions on the side of Guillaume. Anthony, can he manage to take this home here?
Still the special summon ability of the Princess, if necessary as well, once we get Flamberge out onto the field. I'm just wondering if maybe it was worth summoning the Flamberge Actually, no, you couldn't because of the way the trigger works there, so you have to choose between one and the other. Looks like Battle Phase is committed to, actually, crashing into the IP.
And the chain block here is very, very strong. However, the battle phase now is gone, and that is a crucial part of this deck, because now you have basically, that's the reason people don't play evenly matched anymore. Even though it decimates the field that Snake Eyes put up, you don't have the battle phase to end the game, and this is also basically what Guillaume forfeited there. He has no chance to end the game this turn, and there is resources on Anthony's side.
We still got the Sinful Spoils there to be able to send the Poplar scaled for free. That's going to be able to special summon out from the deck here. And yeah, Poplar can reestablish itself. And so it's really just down to what this Apollousa chooses to negate here. Oak Effect to special. Don't forget as well, we also have the Princess still in play. Did we use the Apollousa?
I don't think we did.
The second?
I don't think so.
Okay, still holding on to that as well.
I like that, because now you don't have to basically throw it on the first thing. Your opponent is going to do stuff anyway, but they don't have a battle phase. 7 minutes left on the clock. You're 6,700 life points ahead of your opponent. Anthony he can just wait for the only thing that's basically really threatening him, and then use the Apollousa if it's possible.
Yeah, again, the battle phase to force out Masquerena, probably correct. I mean, Masquerena would have got a huge amount of value if we tried to keep playing there by linking away with the Flamberge and establishing SP Little Knight to deny some bodies. And the Divine Temple is now activated here.
But that's kind of funny, because now the Flamberge is an interruption itself. If it doesn't have to summon out an IP Masquerena.
Here, yeah, there it is, actually, as you mentioned, the Diabellstar activating to summon itself and then place, but we chain the Flamberge to summon the opponent's Diabellstar.
Very, very strong here, utilizing everything he has, because the IP was crashed into, basically did the job, prevented an OTK here, and now you use the Flamberge in a different way than usual. This is what the best players are made of.
Right, okay.
Still 2 cards in hand.
Main phase 2, everyone. Remember, this is really important. The Apollousa still online. Flamberge pop with coupled with the Princess, and the float still available. Looks like it's a Hita.
To be honest, do you think Guillaume has cited out the Anima? Because I think Anima is a pretty convenient way to get rid of the one Apollousa negate.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I think you would rather want to go for an Anima before you activate Hita here. And if he doesn't use it, I think he cited it out.
All right, well, on the summon of Hita, we are thinking for just a moment on how we want to maybe use Princess here. Have we used the Poplar hand effect on Guillaume's side? I don't think we have, right?
No, nope.
We're getting rid of the Hita. We're going to destroy the Flamberge. It has served its purpose. We're going to get back so many resources. And of course, Hita is also going to search something for Guillaume. Very strong searches for another Snake Eye Ash. Has he normal summoned though?
Yeah, I think he had wanted, right? Wait, no, did he normal summon Poplar?
I think that was a different game. All right, we are going to... Everyone is just checking cards now. We're searching for... Oh, that is the handshake from Guillaume.
Yeah,
he scoops it up, says there's no way I'm going to win this game anymore. There's not enough time. And Anthony Lopes finally makes it to the World Championships.
After so many disgruntled second places, he has won the one that matters the most, the World Championship spot. He is heading to the United States.
And guys, they're hugging each other because they're friends. So we wish you were seeing what we are witnessing now.
Yeah,
and
it is such an emotional moment for both players here.
Yeah, so
bittersweet victory, bittersweet between two friends. You know, someone had to win this, unfortunately. And yeah, what a great scene this is here. Unbelievable. This is really what it comes down to. Dreams are made, but dreams are shattered as well in the process. It is just the peak of competition, and wow, what a duel. I mean,
let's talk a little about Anthony Lopes.
Honestly, unbelievable.
Because many people said in this format, you know, Snake Eye Fiendsmith puts up a field, you can't beat it, you're going to give up. That never happened to Anthony, basically. He put up a fight in every single duel that he played today.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the pivotal moment, I think, was definitely the establishment through the Celine of the Appaloosa into the IP through Nibiru.
Yeah.
Again, we'll have to get some thoughts on that from Ed afterwards about maybe that Nibiru was, like, slightly preemptive. It was a little early. Might have been a whole different game if we'd held on to that a little bit more, but, wow, just super well played from Anthony. It cannot be expressed enough just how well he's played throughout this whole playoff.
I mean, we all know that the real MVP was the change of heart onto the Nibiru to extend through the field after this Nibiru. So that was also incredible. I did not see that coming, to be honest.
Honestly, I did not. Yeah, and I mean, we have to give credit to both of these guys and to battle that out. And I mean, well played by Anthony, who is now advancing to the World Championship in Seattle in September. Guys, thank you so much for watching and for being with us. Now the players interview are ready, so Ed, back to you.
Here I am with a man who is trying to keep composed, but is so excited, was cheering on the stage. We saw hugs between the two duelists. But here I am with the third and final from the World Points Qualifiers tournament. Anthony Lopes, not only the French national champion, but now going to the World Championship Series in 2024 in Seattle. Anthony, how do you feel?
Really not composed at all. I really want to scream, even though it doesn't look like it. But it is insane. It's now I know how Gabriel Nets felt when he won against me. It's crazy. That feeling is like we
like
did
nothing.
it.
Yeah, you did it.
I did it. Yes.
Well, let's talk about that, because obviously this was your second chance out of these 3 games to secure your place.
Yes.
So, especially when it came to the first match, we didn't quite make it. Were you confident, like, okay, I didn't make that, but I've got this 3rd place, I'm going to get this? Were you confident, or were you just hoping for the best?
I mean, the first game, I know why I lost, so it's fine. The second, I got lucky, and the third, he got lucky. That's what happened. I wasn't tilted at all. I was mentally preparing for the second one, but the thing that I wasn't prepared for is playing against Guillaume Maron, a really good friend of mine. Mm-hmm. When we came to the top 4, we were ready to go to Worlds together. And then we need to lose the 2 rounds of Top Cut and face each other. So, I mean, one of us is going, so that's the best thing. But
Absolutely.
I really hope this weekend that he can go too.
Well, he still might have a chance, you know, with,
Yes,
with that
in
main
him.
event the rest of this weekend. And, you know, it's very sweet of you.
He plays way better than me, so he should go to Worlds.
Well, I guess we'll see. We've still got loads of time, and hopefully, you know, with that kind of display, would be good. Let's just quickly talk about this game before I let you go and sort of enjoy your time. First one, Guillaume used Nibiru, ended with the Lacrima, so already quite a difficult start there. But then game 2, you got multi-peruliaed, but you just played into it.
Yes.
So in moments like that, do you just think, who cares? I'm going for it.
Yeah, I mean, what can I do? Scoop? No.
Yeah,
I
just
can't.
go for it.
I'm already 1-0 behind.
Guillaume had Ash and Ghost Ogre. You used Nibiru. You were just working very hard in game 2. And
yes.
It was a great display. You played an excellent showcase of that deck. So when you were going into then game 3 at 1 apiece, how were you feeling at that moment?
I was really debating on if he is going second or not, because the funny story is we're both players. We're known for going second in the really hard mirrors to throw the opponent off. So there was a mind game. I was looking when he sided the extra deck card. I was like, okay, is he putting it back in the side or the extra deck? I was only paying attention to that.
And then game 3, that last one, you got Nibiru'd, but you then changed of hearted the Nibiru.
Yes.
That was great. And then we saw the Lacrima game down to 1300. Guillaume tried to play as much as he could, see if he could find it out.
He didn't have enough time.
Didn't have enough time.
And too many bodies.
Yeah, exactly. And then you took it. And that feeling at the end, you could see how much it meant to you. Seeing you shouting on the stage just before we came over here,
yes.
You must be so excited.
Oh, yes, really. I want to hug all of my friends, say everyone thank you, because without all of them, I wouldn't be here. Thank you all.
Well, tell you what, I'm gonna let you walk off and go and hug all your mates now, because you're done here.
Okay.
You don't have to listen to me talk at you anymore. You're done. But congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck. If you know, now you've got Worlds, I think you're like, oh, I can play the weekend if I want. But best of luck in Seattle for the World Championships. Maybe we'll see you lift that World Championship trophy. Very exciting. But guys, that is going to be it from today's coverage of those World Championship qualifying points there. Very exciting duels. We had a great great time, and I hope all of you guys did too. But remember, this is only the start of this weekend. A Friday broadcast is unusual, but what we have for you is an entire 2-day event for this World Championship qualifier here in Berlin for Europe. It's going to be very exciting. Stick around on Twitch and YouTube, both Saturday and Sunday. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.